Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. If this is your first time here, thanks for tuning in today. I'm glad to have you here. Don't forget before you leave to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you're notified of my videos. Today we're going to be doing a full face of e.l.f. makeup. I wanted to keep today pretty affordable, and e.l.f. is one of my favorite affordable brands at the drugstore. So we're going to go ahead and get on into today's video. I'm going to start by priming my eyes with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I usually do my eyes first. So somehow I lost the audio in this clip, but I was comparing this e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer to the MAC Paint Pot, which I recently used up a sample size of. And the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer is really comparable in my opinion. It lasts just as long, my eyeshadows don't crease, and it gets me through an entire day. I really did like the MAC Paint Pot, but I don't see the sense in paying the price when this is only $8 compared to $22. Today I'm going to be using the New Classics eyeshadow palette. This is right around $14 or $15. I'm going to take this cream shade right up here in the top corner. Again, here's another clip where I lost some audio, but I'm just taking my small taper brush from e.l.f. and I'm setting down my eye primer. I like to set my eye primer because I feel like it helps my shadows blend easier. Some people don't prefer it, but I do. Next, I'm going to take Charmer, and I'm using the e.l.f. blending brush. And I'm just going to fluff some of that right through the crease. So how have you guys been doing? Are you guys staying healthy and safe? I know our world is pretty chaotic and crazy right now. A lot of turmoil in the world today. And I like to do these videos just as a way to kind of escape. I guess it's a coping mechanism for me. Sitting down and doing makeup has always been relaxing for me. Just doing a little more blending here. Just gonna build this shade up just a little bit, just to deepen the inner part of my crease a little bit. I think this shade would be a really pretty one shadow look. You can just put it all over the lid and blend it up into the crease, and it would be pretty. And it would be a nice, quick, and easy look to get you out the door quickly. But I think today I'm gonna do just a little bit more. Now I'm gonna take the e.l.f. eye crease brush. This is just a little bit smaller than their blending brush that I used. By the way, these brushes, I believe, are super affordable. They're like $2 or $3. So now I'm gonna take Muse and deepen up the outer corner. This little crease brush is perfect if you have slightly hooded or hooded eyes. This brush is great to kind of place the product right where you want it. And then once you get the product where you want it, you can go back with a slightly larger, fluffier brush and blend things out a little bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend the outer corner and crease of that darker shadow that we just used. I'm trying to decide what shade I want to go in with next. I think I'm gonna take Cosmo here, and we're gonna put Cosmo all over the lid. For that, I'm gonna use this flat shader brush. It's just called an eyeshadow brush. e.l.f. keeps things pretty simple. I'm gonna take that shadow and I'm gonna place it all over the lid. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but the shadow is laying down really nicely with a dry brush. So now we will try placing it this a little more intense. If you use your finger to place the shadow, you can see the difference between that eye and that eye. This eye looks a little more intense with the shimmer. Now I want to try it on the other eye using a damp brush. I'm just using this e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set. I got some shadow on the brush and I'm spraying the brush, and we will place that on the other side. Yeah, so I think with that shadow you can go either way. If you want a very subtle look, just use a dry brush. If you want a little more intensity to the shimmer, go ahead and use either your finger or a wet brush. Next I'm going to take the shade Blanc here in the corner. It's a lighter cream shade and it has a little bit of shimmer. I'm going to place that right up on the brow bone. That's a really pretty shade. And I just want to blend over where that darker outer crease shade meets up with the lid shade, just so those can kind of seamlessly blend into each other. Okay, so I think that's all I want to do with the eyes for right now. Now we're going to go in and do some complexion. I'm going to take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is just the original one they came out with. They do have a matte and an illuminating primer, but this is just the original. I'm going to take quite a bit of this just in the center of my face. It's where I have the largest pores, and I want that area to look a little bit smoother, and I tend to get oily in the T-zone, so this will help my makeup last a little bit longer. So we're going to go in with the e.l.f. BB cream. This does have SPF 20 in it. I wouldn't rely on this solely for your only source of SPF. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that BB cream on the back of my hand. That's usually where I like to place my foundation or BB creams, tinted moisturizers, whatever kind of complexion product I'm using. And then I'm just going to dot it on where I want it. I want the most coverage in the center of my face and on my cheeks to help reduce some of the redness there. And then I'm going to take the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. This is a really great affordable sponge. Okay, we're getting that all blended in here. As you can see, it really did help even out my skin tone, reduce some of the redness. It's quite glowy, so we will set that down with a powder here in just a few minutes. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have mine in the shade Fair Rose. I also have the original Camo Concealer. I like the hydrating a lot more. If you don't have really dry under eyes, then you would probably like the Camo Concealer, the original. It has a little more coverage than the hydrating. And so I'm just going to blend this in with the Camo sponge. So as you can see, there's still a little bit of redness peeking through up here on the tops of my cheeks, and that's pretty normal. I wouldn't expect a BB cream to fully cover all of that, but I'm pretty happy with the way the complexion is looking. It's looking very healthy and glowy and very natural. Nothing looks cakey or heavy, very lightweight. It feels lightweight. So now I'm going to take the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder and dip my sponge, just dip my sponge right in there, and I'm going to set that concealer under my eyes. So I dipped a little bit more of that powder into the cap, and then I'm gonna take the e.l.f. complexion brush. This is a great all-purpose brush. It's great for powder, it's great for bronzer, but I'm just gonna set down that BB cream with this powder. This powder is really nice because it keeps your complexion looking natural, and it doesn't completely take away the glow from the BB cream. For bronzer today, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. And I think I'm just going to go back in with my complexion brush. Get a little bit of that, and just going to sweep over where the sun would kind of naturally hit your face. I like to take it across my nose and then up by my hairline. Not contouring, so I'm not being very precise with this. Just going to build that up a little here. Placing it right underneath my cheekbone, kind of right in the hollow of your cheek. So next we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush, and this is in the shade Always Cheeky. And for blush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. And I'm just going to tap that right onto the apples of my cheeks, blending it back towards the top of my ear. My blush I like to take across the tip of my nose as well. For highlight, I'm going to take the e.l.f. Glow Gleam Bleam highlighting palette. This is in the shade Light. I believe it also has a slightly deeper shade if you have a deeper skin tone. For highlight, I'm going to go back to the small tapered brush. And I think we're gonna mix the middle shade and the first shade here together. And just right on the top of the cheekbones. Right where the light naturally illuminates your skin is where you want to put highlight. And it's going to be different for everybody depending on your face structure. So next I'm going to do my brows, and I'm taking the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Brunette. As you can see, I have pretty full brows naturally, but I do have some sparse areas that I like to fill in a little bit. So I'm just going to take this pencil and fill in those areas that I want to add a little more definition. Now I'm just going to take the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara, and I'm just going to run this through my brows just to set them in place. I do wish the spoolie was a little bit smaller because it's pretty large for an eyebrow gel. But because it's clear, I think it's a little more forgiving if you happen to go outside of your eyebrows there. This lash gel does give pretty good hold, and I think this is under $2, so it's a great deal. Okay, so next we're gonna finish up the eyes real quick. I'm gonna take the No Budge Retractable Liner. This is in the shade Coffee. I'm just going to smudge some of this on my lower lash line. I also want to take the same eyeliner and add just a little bit of definition to the top lash line. This eyeliner is going on really nicely. It's not skipping. It's not super creamy either. It's just the right consistency. It's not too dry, not too creamy. Next, I'm going to take this e.l.f. small smudge brush, and I'm just going to smudge out that liner that we put on the lower lash line. Now we're going to go back into our eyeshadow palette, back to the shade Charmer that we put all through the crease, and I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. Then I'm going to go back into Cosmo, and I'm going to run that along the lower lash line as well. If you want to keep it all matte on the lower lash line, you could go in with the shade Muse that we used on the outer corner and just put a little bit on the outer corner. But since I used that eyeliner there, I just want to add a little bit of softness with that shimmer on the lower lash line. Okay, so I think the eyes are done. Now we're going to go into mascara, and to be honest, I haven't used an e.l.f. mascara that I have really loved. So we're going to give e.l.f. mascaras another try here. So I picked up the Length and Volume mascara. It's a very small wand here. All right, let's see what this mascara can do. It's kind of nice having a smaller wand. I feel like I have a little more control, which is nice. I'm gonna go in and do another coat here, and then we'll take a look and see what the difference is between the eye with mascara and the eye without. Okay, so that's 2 coats here with the mascara and no mascara on this side. So I think it's doing a pretty good job. Let's get some mascara on this side, and then I might go in with 1 more coat. Okay, so that's 2 coats on both sides. I'm just gonna do 1 more quick coat. Okay, I'm actually pretty impressed with this mascara. I'm gonna put a little bit on the lower lash line. Okay, I think that looks good. Pretty impressed. So next we're going to, I did get a little bit of mascara there. I'm just gonna leave it alone, let it dry while we do our lips. So I have one of these new satin lipsticks from e.l.f. Of course it's from e.l.f. This is a full face of e.l.f. This is in the shade Nectar. It's a really pretty nude. It's a really pretty shade, but it's a little warmer than I want. I think I want something a little more cool toned to go with this eye look. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I went and I grabbed a couple of other e.l.f. lipsticks I have. These are just their moisturizing lipsticks. I have the shade Ravishing Rose and In the Buff. I think I'm gonna try Ravishing Rose all over the lips. Try and stick to the outer portion of my lips, and then we'll put In the Buff in the center. Okay, so that's what Ravishing Rose looks like. then I'm gonna put in the buff over the top of it. And then I'm just going to mesh those two colors with my finger. Next, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. I keep saying e.l.f., of course. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Plumping Gloss. This is in the shade Champagne. And I'm just gonna put that all over. These do have a little bit of that tingle to them, kind of like the Buxom lip glosses. It's not too intense. I'm gonna go back with my small tapered brush and buff off that mascara that got underneath my eye. I'm just gonna set with the Illuminating Mist and Set. All right, and so that completes today's video. This is a full face of all affordable makeup from e.l.f. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you did, please stick around. Join me for more videos. I try to focus mostly on affordable drugstore makeup. I do sprinkle in a little bit of high-end here and there. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next, if there's another one brand tutorial that you would like to see, or any casual get ready with me's. I would like to film videos that you want to see, so let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.